Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 132, Calculus with Applications, Section 12.2, Problem 2. This is Section 12.2, Problem number 2. You have a function f of x equals 7x plus 1 times x squared minus 8x plus 10. And there's two parts. Part A says what is f prime of x, what is the derivative of this function, in other words. And part B says what is f prime of x when x is negative 3. So let's start with part A. Let me just recopy the function here. F of x equals 7x plus 1 times x squared minus 8x plus 10. Now, this function is a product. The first part of the product can be labeled as u. The second part of the product can be labeled as v. And the derivative of a product is u prime v plus uv prime. Now, of course, if we're willing to just FOIL this function out, which isn't a terrible amount of work, we wouldn't need to use this product formula. But it's typically a little bit easier to get the derivative using the product formula. So let's start. F prime of x equals, so the first piece is u prime. So u is 7x plus 1. U prime will just be 7. So again, the 7x, or 7x to the first power, has a derivative of 7, right, the number in front of the x to the first. The plus 1, because it has no x, has a derivative of 0, because there's no x with it. So it's really 7 plus 0, but we only write 7. The next piece is v with no prime. So v with no prime, the second set of parentheses, I'll just copy it as is, x squared minus 8x plus 10. Then I have plus, then u with no prime. U with no prime is 7x plus 1. And finally on the end, v prime. So v prime, v is x squared minus 8x plus 10. For the v prime, first do the derivative of the x squared. The exponent of 2 comes down in front of the x. Reduce the exponent by 1, so you're going to have 2x to the first power. Then the minus 8x, the derivative of that is just minus 8. Right? When it's an x to the first, the derivative is the value in front of the x. The plus 10, the derivative of that is 0 because it has no x, no variable. Now again, technically you could say it's 2x minus 8 plus 0, but you don't really write the plus 0. So that is the derivative. We can simplify it a little bit, but you don't really have to. At this point, what you can do is put in any value for x that you might need to. For this particular problem, they asked to do the derivative when x is negative 3. So for part B, I can just put in the negative 3 right now. F prime of negative 3 equals 7 times x squared will be negative 3 squared. Minus 8x is 8 times x, so it becomes 8 times negative 3. Plus 10, the 10 will just stay. And then 7x plus 1 is next, so the 7x is 7 times x, so it becomes 7 times negative 3 plus 1. That's in parentheses. And then 2x minus 8, that's 2 times x minus 8, so 2 times negative 3 minus 8. So everywhere I had an x, I put in a negative 3 because that's what the problem asked me to do. And now I'll just simplify it. I'll do the math. So f prime of negative 3 equals, I'm going to have a 7 in front, times negative 3 to the second power. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. We have to pay attention to these signs. And then negative 8 times negative 3 is positive 24. And then you have a plus 10 on the end. And now, the next piece, 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. And then you have plus 1. That's in a set of parentheses. And then 2 times negative 3 is negative 6 minus 8. And now we can simplify this a little bit more. Again, pay attention to your signs. Don't lose any of your parentheses. In this set of parentheses, we have 9 plus 24 plus 10. So 9 plus 24 is 33. 33 plus 10 is 43. And there's a times 7 in front. And then the other piece, we have 21 plus, I didn't write the 1 from here. So negative 21 plus 1 is negative 20. And that's going to get multiplied times negative 6 minus 8. Negative 6 minus 8 is negative 14. So now we can work that down a little bit. Let me come up here a little. So f prime of negative 3 equals 7 times 43. Well, 7 times 40 is 280, and then you'd have 21 more, would be 301. And then plus, so negative 20 times negative 14. So that's going to be a negative times a negative, you get a positive, and it's 280. So you have 301 plus 280 is 581. So when x is negative 3, f prime of x is positive 581.